Hello people, this is the second part of my tutorial on making Meliodas' dragon handle. If you haven't yet, please watch part 1 first, so you can enjoy the process from the beginning. A bit of a recap from the previous video. The last thing I did was further shape the spikes on the side of the handle with my heat gun. Now, in preparation for the painting, I used quick seal to further cover the side seams of the entire piece. Quick seal is less bulky than foam clay, but keep in mind that you cannot sand it after it dries. For the primer, I am using Flex Bond, and here is all the paint I plan on using. First, I mix the Flex Bond with a bit of water so it is easier to reach all the scales and crevices in the handle. As you can see, I also decided to sometimes pour the Flex Bond directly from the bottle onto the handle. Why did I do this? Well, because it will just speed up the process. Here, I used a small paintbrush to make sure everything was well covered. For this project, I decided to be a bit adventurous and cover the entire piece first with black paint. I then used different brands of paint, and this last one is very pigmented. You can totally see the difference in quality from the first one I used. After all the black paint was dry, it was time to have fun using the lighter colors on top. I started with this dark green, but as you can see, it wasn't super visible, so I already knew I needed several layers and a lighter color to make it work. The silver painting on the blade showed up a little bit better with just one layer. Here, I decided to experiment with different lighter green colors, and as I went on with the painting, I would decide on the spot what would look better. I took out my highly pigmented gold and silver paints and added an extra layer of both to the blade detail and the blade itself. Of course, now I had to do some weathering with my crazy looking paintbrush and black paint. I used a very small brush to, once again, reach the crevices and the scales with black paint. After a lot of weathering, I took the lightest green paint I own and started to create some highlights. By the way, I love using a sponge to paint cosplay props. It is the poor man's version of an airbrush. It's sealing time! For the dragon handle itself, I am using a matte top sealant. And for the blade, a glossy top sealant. Okay, so at this point, maybe you're thinking that I am missing the 3 spikes on top of the dragon's head, and you'd be absolutely right. I forgot to build them before, so now I will finally work on them. I used the same method as I did with the spikes on the side of the handle. First, I built a structure for the 3 spikes using wire this time. After I positioned them on the head, I used my pliers to make them shorter. The bag of leftover Worbla is back again. If you need a recap on what to do, please watch the first video where I go into detail on how to do this. And now it's time to heat all the pieces up and sculpt 3 nice looking spikes. On a very important note, if you want to work on this handle, please do this part before you paint the entire thing. I completely forgot about these spikes, which is why I'm making them now, but please don't be like me and try to make them before. Of course, the spikes gotta go through a whole session of sanding. After they're nice and smooth, I stab the dragon head for the last time. And aren't those some nice and cute looking spikes? Of course, I gotta repeat the whole priming, painting, and sealing process again. Now I move on to work on some details on the blade. Here I mix black and white to get a nice gray color. For the eyes of the dragon, I used these 2 leftover resin redstones that I made a while ago. I got these things. I don't know what they're called. Basically, they're little 3D stickers meant to protect your furniture and/or walls from damage. You can buy them online or at a local home goods store. I decided they would make perfect little details for cosplay props. For this project, I painted them silver and glued them to the blade of the handle. For the smaller blade details, I am simply painting them directly. Of course, everything's going to be sealed with a glossy varnish. And I am done! I am so proud of this project. It took me some time to finish it, but the whole process was worth it. I learned so much. Here is the lovely cosplayer Cosplay, posing with the dragon handle and wearing her Meliodas costume. She is extremely happy with the prop, and so am I. All materials I used and links to social media accounts are in the description box. Like and subscribe for more fun cosplay making content. See you next time. Bye!